Welcome here on this beautiful Wednesday morning on the 27th of February of 2020. Man, just want a nice brisk day here in Southeast Texas, here in the beautiful Houston, TX. Man, want to welcome everybody here to Everybody Doesn't Eat Everyone's Gumbo here today. We have a wonderful cast here today, and I'm telling you, I have a great guest here, especially coming to the home buying season here. I have Kimberly Mashall of InAffordable Housing today. She would take the seat today, on a hot seat, I call it, and she would talk about as being a housing advocate and as a HUD certified housing counselor. And she's taking time this morning to speak with us, and we'll have a great opportunity today. And Kim, how you doing this morning? Kim, you there? Kim, are you there this morning? Well, as we wait on Kim and from technical difficulties here, I just want to, wish everybody, hope they had a great, Mardi Gras season. All of my folks along I-10 and as well as all around the world who celebrate Carnival. In most countries around the world and here in the States, we celebrate Mardi Gras. And Mardi Gras is a great celebration of cultural, and also, too, it commemorates the 40 days of Christ going out to the desert and in reflection and fasting and allowing his connection as being the child of God in his creation and the manifestation allow him to crest himself, in which we call the season of Lenten. So want to just really say hey to everyone as you go through the season, as most people now giving up from soda water, like my grandmother say, chocolate and all other things in life. And I know Kim is probably not giving up anything. How you doing this morning, Kim? And as excuse me, as I had
Can you hear me now?
Kim, how you doing this morning?
My goodness, I'm doing well. All the way from Little Rock, Arkansas. How are you in Texas?
Oh man, like I said again, we try to do it big here in Texas, like they said, the great big state of Texas. But as I introduced Kim, and I picked on you this morning, but guess what? You gotta have a walk-off song. So this is your walk-off song.
Oh yeah, that's it
Kim
right there.
Mashall, she is here representing InAffordable Housing. She's a HUD certified housing counselor and housing advocate. And I'm not talking about a real housing advocate. We talking about housing advocates who have subject matter experience, which is, man, is very, 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 very critical in understanding the needs of home buyers, not just the market. She served by all over the country. So, Kim, before we go into subject matter this morning, I wanted to pick on you a couple of things. So tell me this, Kim. Have you had some bad gumbo in your life?
Well, Dedrick, I'm sad to say that I've never had gumbo.
Wait. Listen, artists. We Houston, we got a problem. Okay, so Kim, you never had gumbo in your life at a restaurant? Come on, y'all got some. But Kim, and as everyone don't know, Kim is based in Little Rock, Arkansas. So Little Rock is the top of the boot of Louisiana, and it touches Texas, it touches Tennessee, and it touches Oklahoma. It touches a lot of states. Let me just tell you that. So you never had gumbo? Talk to me. And why?
Okay, well, kind of, sort of, but it just was not something that appealed to my taste buds. I prefer jambalaya. Does that count?
Oh, well, I mean, jambalaya is a rice cooking and could be considered gumbo. I'm a jambalaya lover. So you may, I could give you that, but it's still not gumbo. Gumbo's a soup.
Okay, give me a
Jambalaya
pass.
is
Give me a
meat.
pass for the jambalaya. Just give me a pass for the jambalaya. I think that's close enough.
But Kim, have you came close again, gumbo? Has anybody ever tried to
Of course I
introduce you to it,
have.
try to cook it for you? Anything like that?
Of course, I have. There was a lady here in Arkansas that was from Cajun country, and she had a Cajun Christmas every year. She would make huge stock pots full of gumbo. People would come from 30, 50-mile radius just to get her gumbo. For whatever reason, it just did not appeal to my taste buds. My palate did not appreciate it, I guess. And so she made jambalaya for me, and that's how I was introduced to jambalaya. And so I figured it was all French, so Cajun, and so I should get a pass.
I'm gonna give you a pass, and I'm hopefully in all the rest of the gumbo
Yes,
lovers across the world, because gumbo is an international dish, and when I mean gumbo, I'm not talking about the EAUX. That's the French translation of gumbo, part of Gumbo Linda Group. But again, gumbo is Gumbo, and as we all know, in historical gumbo is probably the only dish in the world where it's a combination of the French, the Spanish, the African, all into one big pot. If you don't believe me, Wikipedia, like most of the our millennial friends does. And so, but everybody does not make gumbo the same. Everybody, do the chicken and sausage. Like I'm a chicken and sausage guy. But a lot of people do a bunch of a dump load of seafood. And then you got folks that throw some tomatoes on top of it. That's the Spanish base. But I'm gonna leave you alone, Kim, this morning. So, Kim, man, let's talk about a hot topic this morning. And
thank
here at
you.
Gumbo, this, everybody doesn't eat everyone's gumbo. We talk about a topic that's really essential that and it's going to lead into what you do as a certified housing counselor. My concern is this morning is you got a bunch of places all across the country now saying the fact that the lack of affordable housing is there. But the question I ask, this main question, is that with individuals, what are we doing as a community, as a people, to prepare ourselves to be home buying ready? And what has happened, we go talk to the folks at the hair and nail salon and people who don't even do this for a living, not even close. It's like go talk to, your lawn guy and talk about your diabetes. You know, it's like why we're so afraid to talk to counselors and people like yourself and ourselves in this industry about preparing ourselves to buy a home and able to compete in this unaffordable market, because you got to compete with too many people to buy a house. So, Kim, what's your thoughts on that?
Dedrick, first of all, we have in Arkansas, and let me speak only from my knowledge of Arkansas, the economic levels will only afford the average resident an affordable house. Affordable housing, there is a huge shortage of affordable houses. So when we talk about affordable housings and looking in Little Rock, we're talking about 150 and under. So our median income only accommodates that sales price. When you talk about why people are not ready, it's because of the lack of knowledge of money. It's really simple. People don't understand money. And I think there needs to be a little more emphasis on financial literacy. Once people understand money, then they can understand the importance of a house, building wealth through a house, what to do to be prepared for a house, how to respect your credit. If you don't respect money, you don't respect the things that money buy. So you buy all of this stuff and you have all of this stuff, but you didn't respect the money. So you're not going to respect the stuff. And now you're doing a cycle. You're replacing that same stuff because you did not respect it. Now we have an issue of I bought this stuff maybe on credit. And so something came up. And so I don't have to pay these people. And I'm not going to pay them because I heard, and I use air quotes with heard, I heard that after 7 years, it'll fall off my credit report. Well, that's not necessarily true. There are a lot of factors that fall into that. When we talk about credit, we talk about, okay, here we are. This is what happened. We've got to fix it. There's not a quick fix out there. There's not a band aid that you can put on there to stop the bleeding. You made the debt. We've got to address it. Now we're learning about financial literacy. Now you're probably at the point where you're ready to purchase a home.
You could say it any better, and Kim, and then Kim Marshall. She's a HUD certified counselor for InAffordable Housing, and is a HUD certified counseling agency, and which is probably the catalyst. It's been the secret sauce, but it's like people want to come to you ought to get a certificate, but don't understand pre-purchasing counseling and post-purchasing counseling. And I always say this in my beginning of my broadcast sometimes, and at the end of this podcast, is to talk about the fact that you cannot do anything by yourself. You can't do everything alone. You trust experts. You got to trust experts. If you ready to trust your friends and people who don't know, and you don't trust experts, then you have a serious problem. And that's when man perish due to what? Lack of knowledge. And one of the
Agreed.
main essentials of buying a home, you have to have knowledge, because as you know, I can we work together at our previous institutions, and we work for these banks, and hey, we don't have the time to sit and babysit and hold your hand, and because guess what? We have performance, we have to meet, we have to eat, you know, we have to survive, and
Exactly.
you laughing, but it's the truth. I mean, and
Very true.
people don't. I get this question all the time, Kim. It's like, well, they don't return my phone call, or I said, well, when you talk to them, did you have your stuff together? No, you told them all your bad stories. They ran away. Nobody want to hear your
Mm,
story. This is not charity. This is an opportunity that we need to know what is going on, what we need to do to put you in this box. And so, hey, we put you in a roadmap for success to become a homeowner. And it's not to be part of the American dream. That's a great marketing, you know, phrase. It is understanding the reality of homeownership. So, Kim, you've been a part of affordable housing. You've been on the other side with us in the leaning world. What you feel that is the essentials, and I say the secrets, the keys of being a successful home buyer, and also to be a great homeowner.
the success for a home buyer and a homeowner. So once you purchase a house, of course, you have to be a good neighbor. That's pretty
Hmm,
blunt
hmm,
and in
hmm,
your
hmm.
face. You've got to be a good neighbor. And that's where the post housing counseling comes into play. I guess I'm going backwards here. I'm going post, then back to pre. But the post housing counseling is extremely important. It is equally as important as the pre purchase, because once you purchase that home, you've got to maintain that home. And I'm not talking about necessarily the physical structure. You've got to take care of that house by being a good neighbor. Know your neighbors, have some pride in your home, and make sure that you are doing everything that you know to do to keep the value of your home by keeping your outside clean. I don't want to go into all of that. Mow your
No, no,
lawn,
no, no.
clean
You
your
good. You
gutters.
good, Kim. And the reason, and what you just said, I always talk about this. Anybody can buy a house, but it takes it's the key. If anybody can buy a house, but it takes a lot to maintain a home. And
Absolutely.
that is everything, Kim. I mean, and I bring that question up, Kim, is because of the fact that I have individuals here in Texas and all across the states who have high property taxes that don't even file their homestead exemptions and take advantage that.
Mm,
Yeah, they don't. I mean, you'd be shocked, and folks who still understand the struggles within yourself. I know I'm going to more of the spiritual part of the segment of everybody doesn't eat everyone's gumbo, but you have to look in within yourself. Is that what can I do within to make my situation better? Take advantage of streamlined refinancing. FHA, VA have streamlined refinance programs that's not credit qualifying. Whereas that you could take
mm-hmm,
advantage of the low rates. Rates hit a 8-year low this week.
mm-hmm.
So
Right.
everybody should look at their mortgage statement and say, hey, what is my current interest rate? Call Gumbo Lending. We'll do a valuation. We'll look at and see what is your cost savings from old, which is your old payment, current right now, to your new payment if you consider refinancing. Refinancing and home buying are two different processes, two different experiences. But you got to connect with good people up front. And you got to ask one simple question to your loan originator. How long have you been doing this? Have you processed files in your lifetime, or you just look cute on Instagram? I knew you was gonna laugh, Kim.
I know
I
you
mean,
did not
I
go
knew you
there,
about to
but
say something
there's
about that.
some facts. There's some fact there. There's some real fact there. Just like we talk about getting the home buyer ready, the home buyer has to know that they can depend on and they have a knowledgeable, seasoned lender that can walk them through this process. That is equally as important. And those are the services that we both gave in our previous life at our previous institution. And you're still giving that information. You're still giving that information. You're still giving that customer service. You're still sharing that knowledge where you are now. So that's equally as important. You've got to have someone that knows more than, okay, we have this one product and we're offering this. No, they need to be able to assess your situation and see what works best for you.
Man, Kim, you could have said it better. And that goes to today's topic I want to talk about. There's been some changes. And Kim, I don't know if you're aware of this right now. The credit bureaus 2 weeks ago sent a press release out to all media outlets, let them know, especially on urban media. It was like if you turn, I listen to XM, I listen to urban media, and I listen to traditional media. And I'm telling you, I didn't hit much on the traditional media, but urban media was the fact that if you have great credit, your score is going to go up. If you have not so good credit, your credit going down. And what I've seen is the fact that I haven't seen 400s. I don't know about you, Kim. I haven't seen 400 credit scores in probably the last 10 to 12 to 15 years. I'll be honest with you. And
Well,
I
Dedrick,
come
I'm
from an
not sure
underwriting capacity. So
I've
I'm seeing
ever
all these
seen a
files.
400.
I'm sorry, Kim. I didn't hear you. Said again?
I don't think I've ever seen a 400 credit score. I'm appalled by that.
Yeah, yeah. It's back. I mean, it's back
Huh.
swinging. I haven't seen it, and I'm telling you, and this is when it gets very, very critical, and that people don't understand. Like a lot of people micromanage their credit to Credit Karma. I call it micromanagement because it's what you're doing. You're making these bureaus and these other people a lot of money. Also, too, which they constantly pulling soft pulls on your credit report, which it doesn't impact, but it gives you a behavior algorithm. Like if you're on Facebook, you get certain advertisements. Artificial intelligence AI is real. Okay, don't get
Very much
sucked up
so.
into it. You laughing? Why you
No,
laughing?
no, no,
Elaborate
no,
on that,
no.
Miss Kim.
Totally serious. Totally serious. Getting off the subject just a little bit to show you how important AI is. I was going down the street in my vehicle, minding my own business, and I passed by a Walgreens, and I got a notice from Walgreens and said, "Why didn't you stop by when you were
Scary,
something to that effect?" I'm thinking, oh my goodness. So yeah,
scary.
AI is real. It's
It's
totally
scary.
real. Hmm.
And Kim, I'm gonna add to that, to what you just mentioned. What has happened? The fact that credit is all based on behaviors. Okay, I'm gonna let our listeners and the whole wide world understand it's all about behaviors. So the fact that it's about habits. So what has happened? Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, the three big repositories. Those are not bureaus; those are repositories. You have about 22 bureaus, but 12 main ones. I use one of the top 12. And what they do, they spend billions of dollars to actually come up with intelligence to go against the folks that host, the credit repair seminars at your local Hilton. Okay, I mean, and understanding that old conventional way, we're gonna write some letters, or you can go online. But no, they don't tell you to go online to dispute. They say we gonna write the letters for you. You pay a subscription, and then we're gonna change your credit. And then you have some folks on the underground market or the underground world. Let me just tell you that that actually say, I'm gonna remove your trade lines. But what has happened? It's hard to beat $1 billion corporation. you know,
Exactly.
and what's the old school rule? You can't beat them, join them. So how you
Hmm.
join them, you get with a HUD certified counselor who's going to tell you, hey, these are the essential things you need to do, not to try to cheat the system. Because how can you dispute something when you know, and you just told me that you didn't pay it on time? How you can explain to Kim? Do you know some secret thing you could do to challenge something that you admit that you did wrong? Explain that to me, Kim.
Well, Dedrick, my viewpoint of that is Again, everybody wants a quick fix. There is no quick fix. If you made the debt, you spent the folks' money, pay them back. It's real simple to me. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but you've got to address the elephant in the room. You used it in good faith. And so the folks say, all we want is our money back because you used it and you didn't pay us back. You did not honor your contract. You had a contract with that creditor, and you said, okay, yep, I want to use your credit card as money, and I'm going to go out and purchase things, and I'm going to pay you back when you send me a statement. You tell me that I owe you $500 and I can pay it back at $50 per month. I'm going to do that. But you chose not to do it. So that falls under those 4 C's of credit, that character. It's an integrity issue. It's your character that you put on the line. And once you miss your payment history, which is the biggest factor that makes up your credit score, which is probably about almost half of your credit score, now we have issues with your credit score overall. Now you're trying to purchase a home and you have a lower credit score than that's allowed by the lender.
And Kim, I'm gonna tell you like this, and this is when it gets real critical. I had two clients of mine who I previously closed back in the summer. They both went through credit repair. Okay. And again,
Mm,
I'm not beating up my credit repair folks because that's the hustle you do. That's the hustle I respect. Okay. But it does more negative impact long term, but it may help short term, but it has long term negative effects. Okay. These guys turn around, had a 580 and then early 600s that it took a prayer and took some cup of communion. It took me to even burn a candle to get them closed. Okay. And guess what happened? They scores down to 400 trying to do a streamline refinance and a VA interest rate reduction loan, even though they're non-credit qualifying products, but it affects the pricing, which affects the rate. And
mm-hmm.
they both, I mean, I told them their feelings was hurt. And I told them, say, guys, this is reason you got to tell your friends and family, leave the credit repair things alone. And you may go back in the next 10 years to do it, but with artificial intelligence, and they're spending so much money, and the feds are involved. There's folks across the country are getting locked up right now, are getting indicted and going in full prosecution right now of doing this credit repair. Leave it alone. The best way, and Kim, you said it earlier, the best way to repair your credit is to pay your bills on time. Go along the agreement of your promissory note or agreement that you signed. Pay it on time. They gave you the opportunity to have the line of credit or the credit card or the auto loan. Just pay it. That's so easy and everything. So Kim, I just, that's one of the dynamics that as we get into the new home buying season I think it's the credit piece is pull your free credit report, leave Credit Karma, all the micromanagement things alone. I mean, if you got, I'm gonna be funny, but I'm being real. If you have bad credit, ain't nobody gonna try to take your credit from you. Trust me. It's like who gonna steal from you? You got no money.
Okay,
So
true
what you
enough.
micromanage it for?
True enough. True
I mean,
enough.
yeah, can't do nothing with a 620. Can't do nothing with a 640. I mean, just get your FHA loan on the best case scenario, but you can't go get Fannie Freddie and all these other alternative products. You can go non-QM now, but it's hard to have 20, 30% down. That's the reality and everything. So, my last question on this, and this is something I don't, I want to, I know we didn't chat about this, Kim, and is with the CFPB is starting making some changes on qualified mortgage and everything else. What do you think some changes that needs to be made in qualified mortgage to give people more opportunity to buy homes, but most important to alleviate the risk to create an impact that happened within a crisis? Do you think that everybody learned from the crisis? We need to move on from it, and we need to start putting some more folks in housing. I know you serve, you're an active member with NAREB, and they have the million homeowner commitment. So I'll let you elaborate on that commitment that NAREB and other groups have, and what you see the changes that CFPB need to make to increase homeownership in all communities.
Well, one of the major changes that has gone on within banks is they're making portfolio programs, in-house programs that has a little more flexibility for folks to be able to get them into a home, which I think is a big plus. I think they should be housing advocates. We know major lenders have had some major issues, if you will. We won't call names today, that did not serve folks well. I'm going to put it like that. They did not serve folks well. So I think that is a huge advantage where some of the lenders or the banks are putting programs in line to help a person get into a home. That's the first thing. Second thing, and I'm trying to write all your stuff down. You threw quite a few things at me, so I'm trying to write it
Oh, you
down
know,
so I
I can
can
tell you it again.
make
You know, I
sure
can do
that
that for you.
I know you can. I know you can. And as far as NARAB is concerned, the National Association of Real Estate Brokers, they have a new initiative. It's called House Then the Car, httc.com, where they are telling folks, don't go out and purchase the car first. Especially our millennials, don't go purchase the vehicle first. Think about long-term wealth. We all know that a vehicle is a depreciating liability. It does not make you any money. It takes all of your money. It is constantly, it's a cash cow. It's constantly draining you. It's worse than a child, I think. You have to put gas in, you have to change oil, tires, you pay insurance. It's constantly something. So hold on before you go out and make that big purchase for the vehicle, for the people, so you can drive down the street and look good in that vehicle. Let's talk about some long-term wealth, such as purchasing a home. That is the quickest way to gain wealth. And we need to think about generational wealth as well. We need to pass those things down. Make sure, and I'm getting off the beaten path here, but this is a huge issue for me in our community, is to make sure that you have all of, my grandmother would say, get your business in order. Make
Ooh,
sure
but
that
that's
you
wisdom
know
there.
how that house is going to trickle down and what a will looks like. Is that going to be enough to transfer ownership of that house to someone else? You know, we have, my family personally has heir property, which is a beast. It's been in our family for over 50 years. We have so many heirs. It's just it's a really big deal. But back on that generational wealth and purchasing a home, you've got to make sure that you have all that business in order. So buy that house, purchase that house. It doesn't have to be that $500,000 house. Whatever the house looks like in your market that is affordable to you. If you have to start off smaller, it's not the last house you purchase. The average person lives in a home 7 years. After 7 years, they'll go purchase something else. They'll buy something bigger. They'll sell that house, use that money for down payment. So now you don't have to worry about down payment because you have equity in your home. You buy that next house and now you're moving up the chain. And that's how you gain wealth through home ownership. It's just win-win all the way around.
Financial legacy. You just said a lot of clear, and that ought to be a mindset that we encourage all Americans, regardless on what background you come from, what ethnicity group, what part of the country you live at, is starting your financial legacy. You know, money was actually carried over based on land and insurance policies, where the dollar stretches because of inflation. Now, when inflation is so high now, the cost of goods and services so expensive. Now we have to work 3 times harder to establish that financial legacy. And the best way to establish financial legacy is do real estate. I'm just plain and simple. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
unless you could buy a penny stock for a Google-like company or Amazon-like company, wait 10, 15 years and blow up, then that's a different ball game. But, that's a risk. But you invest in real estate, invest in yourself, then guess what happens? Then, financial legacy can be passed down for many multiple generation come, and guarantee your family would appreciate it. Most definitely. And right now we're going to go to our final segment, and we're going to talk about, what impacts your life, Kim. And Kim, this is the song I told you.
Oh, goodness.
Now,
Am
this
I
is your song
ready?
here.
Am I ready? Let me brace myself. Am I ready?
Why? Why? Because why?
Let's see.
You
Let's
walk
see.
it and you talk it and you live it, Kim. That's what makes the Kim Marshall that I know. But no,
Let
but
me
Kim, I
hear
just
it.
wanted to
Come on with
ask you,
it.
what drives you in your life? What motivates you? What gives you, what makes you Kim Marshall? And what are the people in your life that made you who you are, and what gives you the drive every single day to go through this journey called life?
The thing that keeps me up at night but wakes me up first thing in the morning is my desire to help people with financial literacy. I don't know where that came into play. I don't know how it dropped in my spirit. I can't even identify when it dropped in my spirit, but I feel like it is my responsibility to touch as many people as I possibly can to share financial literacy, just basic financial literacy. As a previous lender, I saw all of the heartaches. I saw all of the obstacles. I saw the tragedy of the lack of knowledge of money, just plain money. I won't even give it the cute, fancy title of financial literacy. I'll just say understanding money. How does money work? That's how the top 1% are the top 1% because they understand money. It is just real simple. That's the thing that keeps me up at night, but yet wakes me up first thing in the morning, is to share about money with my people, because we are already behind the eight ball. We've got to catch up. So if we can get this next generation to understand how money works and to make it work for them, we would have accomplished a huge goal. I think about, in the next 25, 30 years, I'll be ready to retire somewhere. I need the economy to be
Yeah, why
halfway
you can't retire five
stable.
years from now? What you talking about?
5 years? Okay.
5 years. You can't make all the money, Kim.
Okay. Well, here's the deal. Here's the deal with retirement. I don't
Talk
think
to
I
me.
will ever retire and do nothing. I always will have a mission. I always will have a goal. I will always have something, again, that makes it difficult for me to go to sleep at night, because I'm thinking, what is my purpose here? What is it that I can do to make a difference? And once I fall asleep, it's the first thing that wakes me up in the morning. Okay, it's time to go do these things that I thought about. Let's make a difference in this world. That's who Kim Marshall is. I jokingly tell all of my really good friends, I say Kim Marshall is a complete sentence. Kim Marshall, period. There's no commas. There's no, just Kim Marshall. That's a complete sentence. It is what it is. I am who I am. I am that person that will help as much as I can to make a difference in Little Rock right now. That's why I changed from the lending perspective over to the not-for-profit side as a HUD approved counselor, because I saw an opportunity to help people with that money issue. Again, where that leads from here, only God knows. He will continue to direct my path, and I will continue to follow what he tells me to do.
Kim, man, I'm gonna tell you something like this. And Kim, before I go into some further comments, Kim, how can people reach out to you, and to have to continue this conversation, to reach out to you directly, and get this, not just knowledge, but most important, the support, the understanding, and the ins and outs. I mean, we talking about, Kim is a true subject matter expert. So, Kim, how can our listening artists can reach out to you?
Anybody can call me, text me at 501 563 6638. That's my personal cell number. I don't hide behind, oh, no, can't give my cell number. Yes, call me, 501 563 6638. If I don't answer, please leave a message or follow it up with a text. Don't hang up. Please just don't hang up and say, oh, she didn't answer. Leave some kind of correspondence back. That is going to be the best way to reach me. If you want to email me, you certainly can. You can email me at Kim Marshall. That's with two L's, KIMMARSHALL 1012, which happens to be my birthday, October 12th, at gmail.com. So that's Kim
1012.
Marshall 1012 at gmail.com. And of course, you can always reach out to me on social media. I'm on Facebook, Kim Marshall. I'm on Instagram, Kim_Marshall1. I'm also on Twitter as Kim Marshall, I believe. So yeah, follow me and or call me, email me, just call me, just reach out. Just reach out. I'm here to help.
Kim, man, I just want to thank you for being part of Everybody Doesn't Eat Everyone's Gumbo. I just want to leave out to thank all of our listeners who joined in today. Appreciate you.
What
Understand
about the
that this
people
was
that
my
don't eat
knowledge.
gumbo?
You said what?
What about the people that don't eat gumbo at all?
Oh
Okay,
man,
we
let me
won't
tell
go
you,
there
you on
again. Okay, we
one
won't
of
go
6
there
billion that
again.
don't eat it.
We
But
won't
guess
cross
what?
that road again.
Oh, yeah, guess what? You make a pledge. We're gonna make sure that you're gonna get a pot of gumbo. If I gotta make it for you and come to Little Rock and hand it to you, I will do so. But guys, thank you everybody who listening today. Kim, you're welcome here anytime. Can I always have you back here?
Absolutely, whenever. I am
Oh,
always
perfect.
here. Yes.
Man, Kim,
It has
I
been a
just don't I
pleasure.
don't even
Thank
want to
you
say
very
thank
much for the invite. Let me make this disclaimer. This is my first podcast, and I think I'm hooked. I like it. This has been wonderful. Thank you very much for the opportunity and for your trust in me to come on your show live. You don't know what I'm going to say. It's like, what is this girl going to say? But you trust me, and I appreciate it, and I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
But Kim, much love to you and thank you. But you know what trust means? Taking risk under stressful times. If you don't know what trust means,
You better
TRUST,
talk, boy.
taking
You
risk.
better look. My granddad
Yeah,
does say
you
that'll
never heard that
preach.
before, huh?
That'll preach.
Yes. Taking risk under stressful times. Who take risk under stressful
Right.
times? We do here at Gumbo Linda Group. If you need to reach us, 713-396-2995, 713-396-2995. We want to thank you for listening in to Everybody Doesn't Eat Everyone's Gumbo. This host, David T. Wilmer. I want to give out some disclaimers. 1-854-397 with MLS. Want to thank you all. Peace, joy, love, and happiness.